Good evening and welcome to the annual organizational meeting for the Village of Pleasantville. Today is Monday, April 2, 2018. We have a call-in number, but I will not provide it because we're not anticipating any call-ins at our annual organizational meeting. Tonight, we have a raft of resolutions that we're required to pass every year that are part of the boilerplate of policy in the village. But our key responsibilities this evening are to swear in David Vinjamuri, new trustee for the Village of Pleasantville, Joe Stargiotti, returning trustee, me, returning mayor, and to offer some comments about Colleen Wagner, departing two-term trustee for the Village of Pleasantville. So we appreciate the Honorable Judge John Curley, who has come tonight to deliver the oaths of office. Welcome, Judge.
Thank you for having me. Are you ready?
We're ready. How about David, you first? Let's do each of the swear-ins, and then after that's complete, we can each make some comments. I think you should bring up some help there.
Yeah.
Come on up. Congratulations. Raise your right hands. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, David Vinjamuri,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Municipal Code of the Village of Pleasantville,
and the Municipal Code of the Village of Pleasantville,
and that I will faithfully discharge my duties
and that I will faithfully discharge my duties
as a trustee for the Village of Pleasantville
as a trustee for the Village of Pleasantville,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, you next, Joe. Thank you. And we'll invite you back, David, for some comments when we've done the three swearing.
Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Joseph Stargiotti,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United
the
States,
Constitution of the State of New York,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Municipal Code of the Village of Pleasantville,
and the Municipal Code of the Village of Pleasantville,
and that I will faithfully discharge my duties
and that I will faithfully discharge my duties
as a trustee for the Village of Pleasantville
as a trustee for the Village of Pleasantville
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations
Thank you.
again. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
And repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Peter Shearer,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Municipal Code of the Village of Pleasantville,
and the Municipal Code of the Village of Pleasantville,
and that I will faithfully discharge my duties
and I will faithfully discharge my duties
as the mayor for the Village of Pleasantville
as the mayor for the Village of Pleasantville
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Judge. David, would you like to offer some comments?
Sure.
So I'll be very brief. I just want to say I'm very excited to serve. I think that public service is our first and most important duty as citizens, and regardless of what part of the political spectrum you're on, I think everybody realizes now that engagement is important, that we can have disagreements of principle and still find a way to meet everybody's needs. And I hope as we move forward as a village that we can have a dialogue between people of different viewpoints, because I think that's really the most important process of governance, is working out mutual difference to everybody's advantage. So thank you very much.
Thank you and good evening. It's been my great privilege to serve this village now for 2 terms, separated by a space when I did not, and looking forward to my 3rd. I've seen in my 22 years here many changes, and I think most of them for the good of this village, and I feel privileged to be a part of it, and I hope to continue to do that. As my colleague has said, I think that citizen engagement is the keystone to our to the progress of our village. We've really tried, I think, to open the doors. Not that anything was ever hidden before, but because of technology, we're able to even reach out to more people and really invite people to participate. We've tried our best to do that in all the endeavors that we've had, the rezoning and the master plan update, and engaging people to come and give their points of view. And I think we've gotten better plans and better zoning and better laws in place because of it. I see a lot of great development, some due to nothing that we did and some due to some encouragement that we gave. And I think it's a really good thing. And I'm, again, privileged to be here, to be a part of it. So thank you.
So for starters, let me thank, in a continuation of a tradition that's existed for a good long while, some former members of the board who've come tonight to participate in the annual organization night. Former Mayor Bernie Gordon, longstanding mayor, longstanding trustee before that, former trustee Jonathan Cunningham, former trustee Mindy Berard. Thank you guys for coming. You have been obviously sitting in those seats before your service, and for all those many years sitting behind these seats. Glad to see you there, and hope that all of us will continue that tradition when it's time for us to hand the baton over. So thank you guys so much for coming. So for starters, I just wanted to offer some comments about our departing trustee, Colleen Wagner. Folks imagine that serving in public office is a moment of great pride, and it is. And on some occasions, a moment when it feels as though you have some sort of a hand on the levers of power. But there are also lots of moments when you are vulnerable and exposed, in part because we end up making Solomonic decisions when not everybody's interests can be accommodated. We try hard to listen and try hard to make the decisions. Colleen has done that in so many different capacities over the past 6 years as a two-term trustee here for the Village of Pleasantville, but amid that, during that, and before that, at the helm of so many things, among them the VIP soccer program, which is an extraordinary program here in the Village of Pleasantville that will live on long past all of us, providing an opportunity for special needs kids, as the commissioner of ASO, who grabbed that tiger by the tail, and that is a very, very big venture. During her entire tenure here, she has, or much of her tenure, she's been both pursuing an academic route and also lately working for St. Christopher's, doing what Patty Dwyer referred to when she spoke on behalf of Colleen at her last official board meeting last week, and that is making sure that those who don't always have a voice have an advocate, and not just an advocate, but a fierce, intelligent, articulate advocate, somebody who does not stop until she has achieved what she knows needs to be achieved on behalf of folks who need her help. So that, I think, is doubtless the story of your entire life, Colleen. It certainly is the story of your life among us, for which we thank you. And I invite you up here. We have some... The most important and exciting moment is, in a great tradition, to give you your nameplate.
Just in case you forgot.
You can,
Get my ass.
exactly right. So we have a plaque.
Does it get me free parking anywhere?
Yeah. Well, it didn't work for the past 6 years. Why should it start now? The Village of Pleasantville presents this Honorable Service Award to Colleen Griffin Wagner, Village Trustee 2012 to 2018, a special friend and colleague who has left an indelible mark on improving the quality of life for all residents and securing a brighter future for the Village of Pleasantville. So we say that in a heartfelt way amid all of the moments when all of us struggle to find alignment and to do the right thing for the Village of Pleasantville. You, like everyone who's ever sat here, has proven that you're here for the right reasons. So happy to deliver some flowers to you as well.
Thank you.
And invite you to offer some.
Thank you so much. I wrote out a few things that I wanted to talk about, just take a few minutes of time, and I wanted to thank those that came here tonight to bid me a farewell. I ran for trustee 6 years ago with a genuine desire to be involved and to make a difference in this village. And while I feel that I have contributed to many advancements and improvements over the past 6 years, including a solid fiscal plan and policy, the master plan update, code changes, recreation improvements, Pleasantville Strong, and most recently the Memorial Plaza project, I feel that I may be able to accomplish more right now off the board rather than on. I care deeply for this village, but my commitment may look or feel or sound different than those I serve with. At work and on the other boards I serve on, collaboration allows each member of the team to bring their unique experiences and knowledge together. But my experience for me of late has been that my strengths and capabilities have not been leveraged, certainly not in the way that is meaningful to me. So I didn't run to just, come to meetings and vote. I was and have been eager to roll up my sleeves and get involved in my own unique and valuable way, particularly in those areas that I'm most concerned or passionate about. But I am a fortunate woman, as Peter mentioned, and I have 2 families. I have my 3 sons who are at the heart and soul of everything that I do. And I also have my girls and my boys at St. Christopher's who look to me every day, each and every day, for the care and support they most desperately need. So my time on this board takes me away from my 2 families. And so for me, my time on this board, or frankly any of the boards that I serve on, has to be well spent. And if I'm to be honest with myself, it's no longer here for me, which is why I decided not to run and seek election for a 3rd term. I was just thinking before when we were saying too, that I never thought that I would know more about roofs, trees, roads, and parking, more than I ever wanted to know. But I am disappointed that we once again faced another unopposed election in this village. 3 seats were vacant, and out of the entire village, only 3 individuals stepped up, 2 of which were seeking re-election, Joe and Peter. So in the future, those who feel that they have something to contribute, those who frequently complain or attack or the work that's done by the members of this board should look at how they might represent the best interests of this community from this side of the table, or your side now of the table. Being on the board is not a difficult job. You need to care about our village and all the people who live in it. You need to listen, you need to dedicate your time, and you must always have the ability to keep an open mind. I'm proud that we continue to be in a strong financial position, actually due to the foresight of one of our previous trustees, Jonathan Cunningham, who had a lot of foresight on what we should be doing, Village Administrator Patty Dwyer, and our Treasurer Mary Schwartz and Noreen Regan, who joined us a few years ago. But after years of looking into how we do things, I don't see how we can sustain operations, upgrades, updates, and enhancements with our current cost drivers. Overwhelmingly, the feedback I continue to receive from our village residents is that our taxes are too high. I agree, and there's no chance that they're going down. Our major cost drivers are pension costs, which we have no control over, health benefits, which we have no control over, and tax certiorari's, which again, we have no control over. So I implore this board and future boards to continue to aggressively evaluate our budget with a responsible financial policy that allows us to maintain a fiscally sound village now and in the future. A big part of that will rest on commercial development, and it remains critical that Pleasantville be open for business and that the board work hard to ensure that new commercial projects and developers are the right businesses for Pleasantville. That being said, I don't think the village does a good enough job communicating, particularly new projects, new businesses, improvements, and construction, particularly that those are considered as of right, which I don't think a lot of people even understand what that means. I've suggested on more than one occasion that we review all our new ongoing projects at meetings, perhaps monthly, so that our residents can be made aware of the changes going on, and it hasn't quite come to fruition, so I would encourage this board to look at that again. I really admire, Nicole, your work at getting the Facebook page up, but that should not and cannot be the sole venue for communicating important issues, projects, and events. I hope that in the future, the village board will look for additional ways in which to deliver and share the work of this board and, of course, the village. When I ran 6 years ago, one of my platforms was a desire to keep and maintain our local police department. And while I continue to support this model, I frankly do not see how we can sustain a local department for that many more years given the financial drivers that we must bear. I've never been in favor of a regional police model, but perhaps a hybrid involving our close neighboring villages and or towns may be something that we look into in the future. I would also like to suggest that the village board ask PRAB to create a task force whose sole purpose is to develop a strategic plan. Mindy, this is just for you, for our village pool. And until that plan's completed, that the village refrain from any further large expenditures with the exception of general maintenance. I know that the pool is beloved to those who use it. My concern is that the numbers we are looking at to sustain the pool are staggering, and the pool use is limited to 3 months a year, and its users represent a small percentage of our residents. This one is for Andrea. I'm sorry that this board has not been able to bring a resolution to vote for the plastic bag ban before my term expired. I think we've been listening to that for about 4 years. Our Recycles Committee has done an extraordinary job over the last 3 years getting us educated and making us more aware. I was and have been in favor of this initiative since our Recyclable Committee introduced it several years ago. And while I respect taking time to ensure that resolutions are put in front of the board that best meet the village's residents and commercial partners' needs, I believe that we should have joined those brave and dynamic communities that have already put a ban in place, maybe some sort of hybrid, being a leader rather than a follower. Pleasantville is changing, and change is never easy. I'm extremely proud and excited about the Memorial Plaza project. I've always believed that our most valuable piece of property should not be a parking lot, but rather a public space for all to enjoy. I believe that this initiative has been communicated and managed with input and participation by a large number of residents and vested community partners. I do regret that I will not be involved in the final decisions about our much-needed social plaza, but feel confident that this project has and is in the hand of experts who will ensure that the final project reflects the input from all those who took the time to get themselves involved. Because of the concerns about traffic flow, I would respectfully ask this board to start giving serious thought to that free shuttle I keep talking about. Perhaps starting with weekend hours and expanding to rush hour evenings, it could help mitigate existing traffic concerns and some of the concerns that people have about this new project. I think I most regret that I will no longer be a voting advocate for the Sunrise Assisted Living proposal or any future assisted living proposal. I am sure some residents are quite pleased about that. But I continue to believe that we need an assisted living type facility in Pleasantville to provide a place for our aging residents. I have grown tired of hearing arguments from those against the proposal, encouraging our seniors to move to Briarcliff or other surrounding towns where those facilities already exist. My response to that argument is, why don't you move? And the answer is because all who love Pleasantville want to stay in Pleasantville, and that includes our seniors. But to do that, we are going to have to develop a facility somewhere within this village. We are doing our seniors a disservice by not having housing options available to those who most need them. I was one of the trustees who brought the original benchmark project to the village board. I believe strongly that housing for seniors remains a void here. And while I was disappointed that the benchmark proposal was voted down, I have to honor the results of any vote. But what most concerned me then and most concerns me now with respect to the Sunrise project is the handling of the process and the confusion that continues to surround these projects. I sit on the board and I'm confused about where we are with the projects. Sunrise asked for feedback months ago, and I want to apologize to the Sunrise team and to the Pleasantville residents in this village who are in favor of assisted living that in the last few months of my term, I did not do more, say more, demand more to get this proposal out in front of the public in a different way. Additionally, I regret that I did not demand more structure and rules with respect to how our board approaches new development and how, who, and when proposals are heard, when feedback is provided, and public comment is accepted. So again, my apologies for not doing all that I should have. I would like to ask the newest members of the village board and remind the veteran board members to remember the following. That our job is not to just listen to those who come to meetings or to those we know, socialize with, share an opinion with, or even agree with. Our job is to listen to the public, speak to experts, and seek out as much information as we possibly can. Never mistake disagree with dislike. Remember that compromise is not always possible, and so when it's not, you will be letting one side down while pleasing the other side. And you can be comfortable with that if you have put in the time and the effort to educate yourself enough to make an informed decision that you believe represents the best interests of the entire village. People often ask me what was the best part of serving as a trustee. And what has been most enjoyable for me has been getting to meet and to work with the hundreds of volunteers who serve on our various boards. You know, as individuals, we tend to volunteer on boards that have something to do with a cause we are passionate about, and as a result, we tend to get involved and continue to work with the same individuals over and over again. As a member of the village board, I had the great pleasure of meeting individuals who are passionate about things I never even thought about. and they opened my mind up to the power of a community and the commitment of our citizens. So I want to thank all of the amazing volunteers who continue to put in time and efforts for the benefit of all. So to the Architectural Review Board, to Kathy Dinkle and her Beautification Committee, to Bill Flukes and the Chamber of Commerce, Helen Muir and the Conservation Advisory Board, the Ethics Committee, Peter Rogovan and the Farmers Market, John Fearon in the Library, Lori Shea in Parks and Rec, Juliet and Shane from PCTV, Russ Klein and the Planning Commission, Danielle and Edwin from Pleasantville Recyclables, Nicole Malgarinos from Pleasantville Strong, Austin Campriello and the Zoning Board of Appeals. And of course, I want to thank my colleagues, Peter, Steve, Joe, and Nicole. It's been a pleasure. And David, I wish you the very best of luck. My best to Eric and Noreen. I'm sorry I won't have the opportunity to work with you, but I know the village is in very, very good hands. And lastly, I want to express my thanks to the extraordinary work from our village team. We are truly blessed in Pleasantville to have such dedicated and motivated staff. So I want to thank Lloyd, our assessor, and Lloyd doesn't get thanks very often, so I want to make sure I said Lloyd. Our senior center, Eric, Jesse, Morgan, and the entire police department. Robert and the building department, Linda, Debbie, and Mike in recreation. Mary, Noreen, and the finance department. Jeff, Mario, and the amazing DPW crew. Judy Weintraub, our departing clerk. Judge Gigi, Judge Curley, Stephanie, and the whole court crew. And then, of course, to Patty Dwyer, who we were blessed to have here as a village administrator for as long as we did. She's an extraordinary woman, a true professional, a smart, kind, graceful, and effective leader. It has been my honor and my privilege to have served with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Colleen. Much appreciated. Appreciate that. And also the shout out to so many volunteers and to so many staff members who you so articulately commented on. I moved to Pleasantville in 1986 and had no intention ever of running for the village board. Certainly had no intention of ever being the mayor. No expectation that I'd stand here tonight, sworn in now for my 4th term as mayor. But what happened to me is what happened to pretty much everybody in this room, which is we moved to a place that is affecting in all kinds of ways, like some other aspects of our lives. You open yourself up to a place that's full of interesting people, full of interesting opportunities, and before you know it, you get wrapped up into it and find yourself in the civic realm. That has happened generation after generation here in Pleasantville. Some folks say there's something in the water. Is that true, Bernie? The opportunity to live in a community that truly is a community has been a great gift to me, and it's why I'm here, and I think why everyone in this room is here. So I thank all of you for the confidence you have shown in me in playing a role in leading that process. We have lots to do and lots of new faces as we see the transition tonight with Colleen departing and welcome David as a new trustee. As we've heard over the last month, Patty has recently departed our midst in a well-deserved retirement, although we fully expect to see her floating around. And as a shout out, we're planning a celebration of Patty's tenure on Sunday, April 15, which we encourage folks to sign up for. You can find it on eventbrite.com. If you're interested in coming, we'd be delighted to see you. Last Friday was Judy Weintraub's final day after 26 years here as the clerk of the Village of Pleasantville, and not just the village clerk, but also in so many respects the front door to the 3rd floor, a person who was often the person who intervened when someone arrived with a problem and so often left feeling as though local government actually works. So Judy has departed also to a well-deserved retirement. She divulged in her departing comments that she'll be back teaching Mahjong at the senior center. So I think all of us should sign up. I'm guessing that she plays a pretty mean Mahjong. But Judy is emblematic of so many people who have served in this village who aren't just here to pick up a paycheck. They become part of an extended family. And in The model we have in Pleasantville, which is largely, I say apolitical, obviously local politics fall into play, but we don't run as Republicans and Democrats as they do in some other communities. That has been an enormous gift for us, and the result of that, I think, is that you end up with people who are here not always agreeing, but serving for the right reasons, and they represent the rings of volunteers and folks who help make this bus run. And they also manifest the value system that I think residents like to see in their government. So the more time I spend in local government, the less interest I didn't have any interest in higher office, but the less interest I have in every level of government above us, because I do think it's local government that is actually doing a really good job. We are probably fortunate that we don't have to tangle with the big issues of the day, geopolitical balance and all of that sort of stuff, but fortunately here in the Village of Pleasantville we have sustained a life where, for the most part, folks find any one of us, and in your tenure any one of you, on the street, in the dairy aisle, wherever it may be, and find out that they have a way in to their government. So I echo Colleen's comments that we need more folks interested in doing this. It would be great to see lots of people interested in doing it, and I think we can do a better job at encouraging that. I wouldn't say it's easy, as Colleen suggested, and I know where she was coming from, because in some respects it is certainly not something that's daunting in a manner that should keep somebody from doing it. But what I would say, certainly would say for myself, is that if there aren't moments when you feel as though you're drinking from a fire hose and feel like the job is about to roll over you and leave you squished, perhaps you haven't really focused on every aspect of it. I certainly feel that way sometimes, not in the sense of defeat, not in the sense of being overwhelmed, but the sense that we're doing a really, really good job at so many things, but there is such a long list of things we need to do a better job of, and that we need to. So we're on the cusp of something pretty exciting here in the Village of Pleasantville. As Colleen already mentioned, the civic space at the north end of Memorial Plaza is, I think, well along in a direction that will be the culmination of at least 3 decades of hopes and dreams that I think are finally going to come to fruition. That work and the changes it will bring, as well as the development we see around it, begets the kind of change Colleen also referred to, which is not always easy. I do think that I can speak for myself, but I think I can speak for everybody on this board and everybody on the board that preceded me. It's part art, part science to find a way for the future of a community. But we all got into this because we love this place, because this place has been affecting in ways that other places we live haven't. And it's my fervent hope and honest belief that we will leave a community that will do the same thing to the folks that live here now and the folks who come in the future. So I thank you all for that. So now we get to the more exciting part of the meeting. So again, a shout out to the farm. Oh, would you like to speak? Absolutely. Please. Welcome, Mindy Berard.
No, I just wanted to say to Colleen, it was so funny because half the things you said we probably bumped heads on throughout the years, but I have to say your commitment to this village and to the residents and to the children of this village, before you were even on this board, you served on the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, your commitment to ASO, running youth programs, the VIP program, as the mayor mentioned. You had Pleasantville, the Village of Pleasantville residents and their businesses in your heart, and that's what really drove you. And I just have always had a lot of respect for the way you did it. You pushed forward, you did what you believed in, but you always had the village residents and the businesses in your heart. David, I've never met you before, but that's a good way to start, is you put it in your heart and you think with your heart a little bit, because our residents and our businesses deserve that. And Colleen, that you always did that, and I wish you a lot of luck. And hopefully now you have a little bit more free time, although knowing you'll probably get into something else that's a little bit more, make you a little bit more busier. But thank you for all your service throughout the years, not even on the board, but even before the board. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else like to comment?
Never let former
I wanted just to echo what Mindy said. I ran against Colleen in my last term. I remember to this day, I probably won't forget it for what she said. The best word to describe her was force. And indeed, that's the case. I enjoyed working with you on the board. Completely understand the frustrations and the joys of public service. You echoed them well, so I'm not going to even attempt to restate your statements because you said it so well. But you and Mindy sitting next to one another as allies. It's the world is upside down. No, it's great.
All right, we're going to send you to Korea. We're going to figure that out, right?
But no, thank you for your service.
Thank you, John. Anybody else want to say anything? All right, well, again, just a shout out to Bernie, Jonathan, Mindy for returning to organization. I much appreciated. Thank you, Angela Vella, President of the Pleasantville Board of Education, for coming here tonight. Much appreciated. And thank you, Stephanie Tim Austin, who is not only the keeper of the photographs of these events, but a loyal and professional figure in so many areas of our realm. And thank you, Judge Curley, for presiding over our swearing-in ceremony. So thank you very much. All right, so we have a number of resolutions tonight. I'll take the first two, which are mayoral appointments, number 47. Resolve the Board of Trustees hereby approves the following persons to positions listed below for terms in accordance with village law. Village Clerk Frederick Morrissey through April 2020. Registrar of Vital Statistics Noreen Regan through April 2020. Deputy Village Clerk Noreen Regan through April 2019. Deputy Village Treasurer Robin Rizzo through April 2019. Associate Justice Virginia Collins Esquire through April 2019. Prosecutor George Pappas Esquire through April 2019. And Assessor Lloyd Tash through April 2019. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. Number 48, mayoral appointments to boards, commissions, and committees. Resolved, the Board of Trustees hereby approves the mayor's appointments of the following persons to various boards, commissions, and committees. Planning Board, 3-year term to expire 2021, Russell Klein and Phil Myrick. Architectural Review Board, 3-year term to expire 2021, James Berard. Conservation Advisory Council, 2-year term to expire 2020, Lisa Brown and Andrew Reinman. Beautification Committee, 1-year terms to expire 2019. Kathy Dinkle, Chair, Marion Coughlin, Franz Crabella, Elizabeth Ward, Tanya Cunningham, Marlene Canapi, Marilyn Ross, Pat January, and Virginia Pancotti. Recycling Committee, 1-year terms to expire 2019. Danielle Barry Gass and Edwin Kuo, co-chairs. Sharon F. Rutik, Pradeep Bowie, Linda Schenkman Curtis, Bridget Egan, Andrea Garbarini, Pat January, Ryan Lamberg, Francesca Bonavita Lawler, Helen Muir, Virginia Pancotti, Leslie Schulte, Dan Turner, and Kim Turner. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. How about number 49, Nicole?
Resolved that the Board of Trustees shall hold their regular meeting at 8 p.m. on the second and fourth Monday of each month, except April, when the organizational meeting shall be the first Monday and shall convene at 7 p.m. Work sessions shall commence at 7 p.m. on the second and fourth Monday of each month from May through December, then every Monday at 7 p.m. during the months of January, February, March, and April. When any such meeting date falls on a legal holiday, the meeting shall be held on the next succeeding day unless amended by the Board of Trustees. All meetings of the Board of Trustees will take place at Village Hall, 80 Wheeler Avenue, second floor, unless otherwise noticed.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion approved. 50, Steve.
As it comes in. Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby sets the following procedure for calling a special meeting by the Board of Trustees. A special meeting can be called by either the mayor or at least 2 trustees acting together. The Board of Trustees will be contacted by telephone, text, fax, or email. In the event a special meeting is to be called, all attempts will be made to contact the news media and public as soon as practical after calling for the special meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. 51, Joe.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby designates the Journal News and the Examiner as the official newspapers for the Village of Pleasantville.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. David, your
first.
inaugural resolution.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the following authorized signatories for financial transactions at all depositories: Peter Scherer, Mayor; Mary Schwartz, Treasurer; Robin Rizzo, Deputy Treasurer.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion approved. 53, Nicole.
Okay. Resolved that the Bank of New York, J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, TD Bank, Sterling National Bank, Webster Bank, the Westchester Bank, and Tompkins Mahopac Bank be and the same are hereby designated as depositaries for all funds of the Village of Pleasantville, and it is hereby directed that all funds of the Village of Pleasantville shall be deposited in said banks unless otherwise specifically authorized. And be it further resolved that no fund shall be paid by the treasurer of the Village of Pleasantville except pursuant to a judgment or order or an audit and allowance by the Board of Trustees as required by law, and an order designating such funds signed by the mayor or deputy mayor and countersigned by the treasurer or in his or her absence by the deputy treasurer. And be it further resolved that all checks or drafts or instruments for the withdrawal of money of the village from said depository shall be signed by the treasurer. Payment of principal and interest on duly issued village bonds and certificates of indebtedness or tax notes may be paid by the treasurer without specific order or audit of the board. Compensation for services of employees or officers regularly employed by the day, week, month, or year shall be paid by the order of the treasurer for services actually rendered or performed without specific order or audit of the board. No wages shall be paid laborers except on a payroll certified as correct by the official in charge of the work for which the money is being expended, and provided further that if the rules of the County Civil Service Commission have been extended to apply to such employees or officers by the treasurer, then the trustee shall not audit any such bills rendered for compensation for services, nor shall the mayor sign, nor the treasurer countersign any orders for the payment of payroll for such employees or officers until such payroll shall have been submitted to the County Civil Service Commission and certified by it that the payment or employment of said employees or officers is in accordance with the civil service law.
Is there a second?
Second.
Shall we read that again for clarity?
There was a hiccup there.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion
Aye.
approved. 54, Steve.
Oh, it's a long one. Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby authorizes the village administrator to approve in-state conferences in accordance with General Municipal Law, Section 77-B, and further resolved that all out-of-state conferences shall be approved by resolution of the Board of Trustees.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. 55, Joe.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby sets the standard business mileage rate for the transportation expenses for village employees using their personal vehicle for village business as per the rate guidelines set forth by the Internal Revenue Service.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. 56, David.
Whereas the Board of Trustees is determined to authorize payment in advance of audit of claims for public utility services, postage, credit card merchant fees, freight, and express charges, and whereas all such claims shall be presented at the next regular meeting for audit, and whereas the claimant and officer incurring or approving the same shall be jointly and severally liable for any amount disallowed by the Board of Trustees. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees authorizes payment in advance of audit of claims for public utility services, postage, credit card merchant fees, freights and express charges, and all such claims shall be presented at the next regular meeting for audit by the Board of Trustees.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
57, Nicole.
Resolved that the village treasurer is hereby authorized to implement the Village of Pleasantville's investment policy. Said policy is attached to the resolution.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. 58, Steve.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby adopts the Village of Pleasantville's purchasing policy, also attached here as part of the record.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion approved. 59, Joe.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby adopts the Village of Pleasantville's fiscal policy also as is attached.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. 60, David.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby adopts the Village of Pleasantville's credit card policy as is attached.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. 61. That's Nicole.
I know, I'm sorry. It's not, oh, here we go. Okay. Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby adopts the Village of Pleasantville's social media policy also as attached.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. 62, Steve.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby adopts the Village of Pleasantville's equal employment opportunity policies and procedures, also as attached in the record.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. 63.
May I read that off
Sure,
the
you
board
certainly
because
can,
this
yes.
is not
Yes,
clear.
sir.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby establishes employee eligibility for health insurance as required by the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act as follows. Standard measurement period will run from December 1st through the next year's November 30th, 12 months. This is an annual time frame and will occur every year. Standard administrative period will run from the end of the standard measurement period of November 30th through December 31st. This is an annual time frame and will occur every year. Standard stability period will run for a 12-month period from January 1st until December 31st. This is an annual time frame and will occur every year.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. Number 64, the last of the stack. It's probably hard to read off that printout, right?
Yeah, I don't have it on the printout. Whereas the New York State retirement systems requires that the elected and appointed officials who are members of the New York State retirement system report their time. And whereas the New York State retirement systems requires that we set a standard workday for elected and appointed officials, and whereas the New York State retirement system requires that these hours be reported based on a timekeeping system, now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Pleasantville hereby establishes the following standard workday for the following employees, and will report these days' work to the New York State and local employees' retirement system based on a timekeeping system or a record of activities maintained and submitted to the village clerk by the following employees, which are attached.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. That is the last of our organization night resolutions. Not usually a night when we take up new business. So I just want to again thank you all for coming and thank those of you who are watching at home or who watch at home in the future. And also a hearty welcome to David Vigimori, our new trustee. A heartfelt farewell to Colleen, who is gone from behind the table, but certainly not gone from the village realm. And I trust that you'll continue to participate as you always have. Though we've said it before, we begin a new village year with Eric Morrissey at the helm. I am confident that we are in very good hands and are delighted to have you here. And Noreen Regan, sitting where Judy often sat, now an administrative role instead of in a finance department role, doing the same great job you've done for us in the past year. So we are delighted to have you all here. So with that, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good evening. Thank you. Our next regular meeting is a week from tonight, Monday, April 9.